Some people quote examples from the Holy Quran to show that prophets made mistakes. If this is true, how does infallibility make sense? For example, the story of Prophet Adam alayhi salam. The Holy Quran says, "We said to Adam, dwell with your wife in paradise and eat from whatever you desire, but do not approach this tree, otherwise you will be amongst the zalimeen." So what did they do? They approached that tree, therefore they are zalimeen. So how does this make sense if prophets are supposed to be protected and infallible? Let us dissect this. Those who believe that Adam alayhi salam committed a sin say that eating the forbidden fruit was a sin, and Adam being expelled from paradise to earth as the punishment. Firstly, Adam was destined to come to earth anyway. God has said, "I want to place a Khalifa on the earth." Whether or not he ate the forbidden fruit, Adam would have come to earth anyway, so that was not a punishment. Secondly, Zalimeen is derived from the word Zalama or Dhulm. Dhulm has 4 different meanings: to misplace a thing, to oppress, to come to harm, to make haste before time. Depending on the circumstance, whenever a word has more than one meaning, we need to use the right meaning at the right time. For example, if I say I'm going to the bank, bank could mean money bank or river bank. Or if I say look at that spring, spring could mean a coiled metal, the season spring, or even a water spring. So we have to use the right meaning for the right sentence. So here we have to understand what the word dhulm means. We are looking at the verse by understanding the prophets are infallible as proven in previous lessons. So we have to pick the right definition to prove the infallibility of Adam alayhi salam. If we say it means whom harm would come to, it would read like this: eat from whatever you desire, but do not approach this tree, otherwise you will be one of those who put themselves into harm. This means facing the difficulties of the earthly life and losing the comforts of paradise. If we take this definition, does it mean that Adam alayhi salam committed a sin? Of course not. If we were to say to make haste before time, it will read like this: eat from whatever you desire, but do not approach this tree, otherwise you will be one of those who make haste. Basically, this means if you approach this tree, your time in paradise will be shorter, and you will be sent to earth quicker, where you will lose the comforts of paradise. And we know that Adam was created to live on earth and not in paradise. Allah says, "I created a Khalifa for the earth," and didn't say, "I created a Khalifa for paradise." This meaning is also supported by these verses where it says, "O Adam, this shaitan is an enemy to you and your wife, so do not let him expel you from paradise or you would suffer. Here in paradise it is guaranteed that you will never go hungry or unclothed, nor will you ever suffer from thirst or the sun's heat." In other words, here food, clothing and shelter are readily provided for you. You will lose these comforts on the earth. So this meaning also makes sense. If this is correct, another question arises. No matter what definition we take, isn't going against the orders of God a sin and a direct violation of infallibility? Here we need to understand how orders work. There are 2 types of orders. Number 1, Ta'abbudi or Mawlawi orders. These are things that are halal, haram and wajib orders. For example, the command to say the daily prayers or not to eat pork is of such nature. Neglecting the daily prayers or eating pork is a sin. Number 2, Irshadi orders. This means guidance, and it is up to us if we want to follow those orders or not. For example, a person comes to his doctor complaining of a cough. The doctor advises his patient to drink a certain medicine. Now, if the patient ignores that advice, then he is not committing a sin or a crime, but he will surely suffer the consequence. So when God says don't approach this tree, it is an irshadi order, and we know this because in paradise there was no sharia and no laws of halal and haram there. Whenever we hear of any mistakes made by prophets, they are not actually sins that affect their position as spiritual guides. Instead, such actions are called tark al-awla, which means leaving the better option. It is possible for a prophet to do this, but as such, a prophet cannot commit sins.